Oh, Evan, I don't know what happened.
That's crazy.
I don't know what happened.
I was finna get myself together.
I don't know what happened.
And that is crazy. Oh wow.
Oh jeez. I was looking through to try to get the updated commercial and I completely that's on me. I don't know.
Jared, you exposing exposing the business, Jared.
Hey,
exposing the business, Jared. This is supposed to keep kayfabe, Jared. You're not keeping kayfabe.
I'm just glad you had on, dude. Okay, yeah, there you go. I'm just glad you had on like the John Panthers. Whatever.
Yes. Oh my god, I was just trying to get my face back right.
We're live too. This is awesome.
We are live. This is. I hope luckily ain't too many people in here right now.
No, we're
oh my gosh. That's the comments from last week. I was gonna say what?
The comments from last week. How are you seeing those? Hang on a second. Oh man, we're
welcome to the No Bluffin Podcast, where we keep it all the way real, all the way raw, and all the way uncut. I'm Evan Hayes. This is Jared Davidson, and clearly Jared has had a long Monday.
I'm struggling, my man.
So we're gonna try to make it through. But this is No Bluffin Podcast. I'm Evan. Jared, despite the technical difficulties that I didn't think were happening when I was going to step out, give me a drink of water. But you know, we got to keep it moving. Jared wants to expose me to the whole, but I'm glad I had clothes on.
My fault, bro.
But anyways, Jared, how are you doing, my guy?
Oh man, I'm good. Like I said, I was just trying to find the updated commercial because I didn't know we had it in here yet. Because the last couple of weeks we had an outdated one. But yeah, man, no, we're doing good. Like you said, it has been a Monday. It has been a Monday. If you couldn't tell by the way we just started the show, full blazing, like 2 seconds out of the intro video. But no, man, no, I'm doing good. How are you doing, man?
Outside of that very hilarious opening, I'm doing okay. We're trying a new look. Y'all see like my face just like it's like a headshot right now. So I'm trying my best to like stay centered. But yeah, it's been a Monday, just practicing, trying to get classes together and all of that. You know how finals week is, so just trying to get it out the way because hopefully this Thursday or Friday I can finally be home in Memphis, Tennessee, and be home for a good minute. So what's up, Black Ninja DJ? What's up, everybody that's tuning in? But I'm doing good. But we're going to try to keep it moving and act like nothing happened because nothing happened at all. And we always got to start with the No Bluffing news. And Jared, if you could find it, turn me up in the headphones to get the music going. If you can find it. If not, we can just keep running it. We're here. We locked in?
We got it.
Cool. For our first news topic, it's going to be a big college football topic for the news. Is the college football bracket has been released. The second iteration of the 12-team playoff. It's been a lot of discussion all over the place. For the first time, we've had 2 G5 teams in with James Madison and Tulane. Should have been Memphis. We took care of business. We'll talk about Memphis later. You had Indiana being the number 1 seed, Ohio State being the 3 seed, Georgia being the 2 seed, and who was the 4 seed, Jared, if you have it in front of you? Texas Tech, yeah, because they won the Big 12. So it was a lot of discussion over the past weekend on Sunday when it got revealed. What were your thoughts? You know, people talking about Notre Dame being in, Miami being in, Texas had an argument, all these other things. But what was your take on how everything happened?
So my whole take is that the committee got it right by their standards and by, I think, a vast majority of the standards. But how they got it right is the big kind of debate.
Yeah.
Miami, if they were ever going to be next to Notre Dame in the standings, they always deserve that one up on them simply because of the head-to-head matchup.
Yep.
You got to show head-to-head matters. You also have to show that playing in a conference matters because you can't be an independent and play a weak bottom feeder ACC schedule like Notre Dame has for the past several years. You can't do that and expect to get in because, you know, they schedule teams like lower G5s like NIU, who they've lost to in the past, Marshall, who they've lost to in the past, other teams who they've lost to in the past, and they just schedule a weak schedule not playing in a conference. I think they got it right, but I do think that Miami getting in, that's all BYU put this thing out. BYU was comparing strength of schedule and everything and whatnot. I straight up think Miami got in simply because they wanted an ACC team in.
Yeah.
And Duke ended up beating Virginia. If Virginia takes care of business, we're not having this discussion.
100%.
If Virginia beats Duke, we are not having this discussion at all. I genuinely think that they got it right by putting Miami in over Notre Dame. BYU got, like I said, they got killed for circumstances out of their control. Because of Duke winning, that bumped James Madison up into that fifth highest conference championship team.
Mm-hmm.
But, geez, man. And here's what we're going to get to. I have the bracket pulled up, and I do want to pull it up. Let's see here.
I have it in front of me, too.
Yeah, that's not what I need. Anyways, we'll find it later. But it's just one of those things like, from where teams were ranked coming into this, Miami was on the outside, like barely on the outside. BYU was still on the outside.
Yep.
Miami, they kept them close the entire time. And so you knew when certain things fell the way they did, that Miami was going to probably get that jump. BYU, if they keep that game respectable, I think they maybe sneak in backdoor. But the whole thing is, they're not going to punish Alabama because they played in a conference championship game.
They did.
And they were already at number 9. That's the thing. Where they had them ranked the week prior, I think in week 11 or 12 or whatever it was, they did not want to punish Alabama for already being solidified in the field, but for playing a conference championship game. Because if you knock Alabama out in that situation, I'm not vouching for Alabama being in. But I'm saying if you knock Alabama out of that spot for playing in the conference championship game, you're going to have a 2-loss Michigan team in the future. And this is just me like spitballing a team here. You're going to have a 2-loss Michigan team here in the future where they get in, they have one non-conference loss to a good team and one conference loss, where they get into the conference championship game, say over in Ohio State, say over in Indiana or in Oregon. And all of a sudden, the two of the teams that did not play in the conference championship game are going to jump them because they lost that conference championship game that had them 3 losses. If they moved Alabama out, that sets that precedent. And they don't really want to punish teams for playing in the conference championship game when they are already in there. And that's – I see everyone saying, it's like, well, why did BYU drop and Alabama didn't? BYU was already out of the field in the week prior rankings, so that didn't really affect them. They would have had to win to be in. As the whole Miami and Notre Dame thing – if Miami and Notre Dame ever ended up next to each other in the conference, in the standings, Evan, they were always going to go Miami because head-to-head has to matter.
Has to.
And like, I'm not saying I don't agree with Miami being in, but where they were in the rankings, yes, maybe BYU should have been ahead of them, but they're not going to leave the ACC out. Like I said, Virginia losing the committee in a tough spot because they're one of their bigger they're the ESPN's bigger moneymakers, and that's just a sad reality that it is.
Yep.
Virginia wins, like I said, we're not having that conversation.
Yeah, it was a lot going on, a lot of different talking heads. I know like Kurt Herbstreit and Nick Saban, all the guys were saying like they wasted 2 spots on 2 G5 teams, and the fact Notre Dame, some people say Notre Dame got robbed, but like you said, head-to-head has to matter. So being that when you schedule your Notre Dame such a inferior schedule, you have to take your business when it's there, and you didn't. So you can't justify that.
You lost to Texas A&M and Miami, 2 teams who are in, but 2 teams who do not have a first-round bye.
So when you have tough teams in your schedule, you have to knock them out. You didn't. This bites you in the bud later in the season. I also hate that Notre Dame didn't accept an invitation for a bowl game.
Yeah, I'm glad we're about to talk about that.
I hated that. Like, I feel like it's number one, it's taking the opportunity away from your seniors playing another game. It's taking opportunity away from your young guys with their first bowl experience, and it's delivering the message to your fan base, oh, we didn't get what we want, so we're just going to pout about it and go into next year. Like, 10, 15 years ago, go to any bowl game was a big honor, and now with this whole 12-team playoff thing to make it even expand it from here, people are thinking it's the big dance or nothing.
That's what we're at.
Yeah, and I hate that that's the new reality we're living with college football, because it's making, we already had guys like pulling out of bowl games because of the draft. We've already seen transfer portal. We've already seen coaches that are not coaching because they accept other jobs. Shout out to James Madison, coach. He's actually, even though he's taking and Tulane, like they're both coaching through. So shout out those guys. But I feel like, yes, I like the playoff format, but the fact that it's just setting a precedent that it's only one big dance and nothing else matters, I hate that personally.
And I was of the belief we should have never gone from a 4 to a 12.
Yeah.
I was thinking go to a 16 and you have the 1 and 2 get a first round bye. 3 and 6 play each other. 4 and 5 play each other. Lowest remaining seed goes to the highest remaining seed.
Yeah.
Then the best remaining seed goes to the number 2 seed. Kind of how they used to do the NFL playoffs. They put 7 teams in there.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing about it. That's another topic for a different day.
Yeah.
Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman. I still have I like Marcus Freeman as a head coach. I don't know if it was his decision or the athletic director's decision at Notre Dame to decline that invitation, but it's awful. You would have had a chance to, because there's been a lot of talk between BYU and Notre Dame saying, hey, Notre Dame beats BYU by 35, BYU wins by 20. That would have been your bowl matchup.
Yep.
That would have been your bowl matchup. Had a chance to go out and prove it. Also, too, how can Notre Dame's athletic director, whatever, I can't pronounce his last name, so I'm not even going to try. Mm-hmm. The whole ACC thing that came out about saying how the ACC went kind of like ran like a smear campaign against Notre Dame to try to get Miami in. But here's they said like it permanently damaged the relationship between the ACC and Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, all 24 other of your sports, what conference do they play in besides football? They play in the ACC.
In the ACC.
Basketball, baseball, softball, everything that you play in the ACC, but you want to leave football out. You're not special because you're an independent school. You're not special because you don't play in a conference. You don't get special treatment, and I'm kind of glad the committee stuck to that. If you want to blame the ACC, join the ACC in football and let all of your athletics run through the Atlantic Coastal Conference, and then you have a right to be upset. You don't have a right to be upset when you don't play in the conference for years and years and years, stick out as an independent, and you want to claim yourself as this premier program when you have a history of crap in the bed early in the season like they did this year. Now, granted, it was against 2 better teams than they have in the past, like Marshall and Northern Illinois, but you don't get the right to complain when you, back out of your bowl game after, throwing yourself a pity party for not getting into the playoff.
That's what it was,
Not getting into the playoff. And guess what? You join the ACC, you're 10-2 in the ACC, you're probably playing in the championship game. And guess what? Even if you lose said championship game to Duke, you're gonna be in. Join the ACC in football like you have all the other sports. Don't throw a pity party and back out of your bowl game. No one can find them for backing out of a bowl game because guess what? They're not in a conference.
Yep.
So that whole thing doesn't sit right with me. It's piss poor. It's bad, man.
Yeah, it's a bad across the board because in this whole college football playoff thing, you're not going to satisfy everybody. And to Black Ninja DJ's point, like everyone, especially in national media, has been harping down on G5 schools, of course, in particular Tulane and James Madison. They wouldn't be in the conversation if the big teams like the Notre Dames, if the Vanderbilts, if the Texases, if they all won when they needed to. We don't have room for a G5, at least 2 G5 spots to be there.
You would still get 1 because of the conference championships, but it would be the top 1. It would be
the top 1.
The Tulane or JMU would be one of the 2. ESPN, that's where all the talking heads come out from pretty much. This whole college football playoff thing is contracted to air on exclusively ESPN networks. So ESPN people, when they probably had a say in how this whole thing was constructed when they first went to a 12-team playoff, that they can get over it because they basically wrote the rules. They didn't put in there where it's the 4 best P4 conference champions and then at 1 G5. No, it's straight up in writing. It is the 5 best conference champions. And who knows? Tulane's already played Ole Miss this year. They may go into Oxford and get an upset. I'm not saying they will. I don't think they will. JMU could shock everyone and go to Oregon and keep a game respectable. Oregon's showed time and time this year where they have not played up to their standards.
That is true.
So it's just one of those things. I like that they got it right to their standards, but it's frustrating how we got to these standards.
Yeah, and I feel like each year they're going to keep moving the goalposts when more people get unhappy because that's the reason why we expanded to a 12.
Team here soon.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 16. I was just finna get to that because there was the whole thing 2 years ago when Florida State got left out when Jordan and Travis got hurt, and they were the only undefeated P4 or at that time P4 in that conference championship, and they got left out. So what they do, extend to 12. Now you got people at Texas and at Notre Dame and Vanderbilt. They're upset because we're the SEC. We still play big name teams. Like, no one asked Texas to schedule Ohio State as their first game of the freaking season. Like, nope. Texas, as much as I love Texas, they're a great team to watch, but they played Kentucky to a damn near standstill at home. They almost lost to freaking Kentucky. Like, let's call a spade on here. Like, people say Alabama has 3 losses. They shouldn't be in. I can get that, but they also have probably the best win of a non-conference championship when they beat Georgia earlier this year. So, like, you can't have it both ways. So, you know? Yeah.
No, you can't. We're going to get to a point to where it's probably going to be something similar to this format. Look at the FCS level. Evan, we both have covered FCS football a little bit.
Yep.
It's a 24-team playoff.
Yes, it is.
The top 8 get a bye. Then the remaining teams play each other. Well, they seed 1 through 16. Top 8 get a bye. And then I believe 9 through 16 will host, and then the remaining go to wherever based on, like, I believe they try to keep it geographical.
Yeah, region, yeah.
They try to keep it regional. Do that. You get your respected G5s in. You please everybody. And here's the thing: eliminate bowl games. Make all. I think I did the math here correctly. With everyone having a bye, there's 23 total games, including the national championship game. There's your bowl games. Like, 24 teams get in, 1 comes out. If you didn't make it in, so what? Better luck next year. It's the era of the transfer portal. Go get a transfer class, make a run at one of those, top 8 seeds, top 16 seeds, or make a run in, or how you did it. You win your conference, which I think we have 10 total decent conferences right now. You have 4 big names, and then 6 G group of 6 schools or whatnot.
Yeah.
Put in those 10 conference champions, because the way you get into the playoff, apart from an at-large, unless you play the Missouri Valley or the Atlantic, or not Atlantic, whatever it is, the Mountain, not the Mountain West, whatever it is up there for Montana schools. You win your conference, you get in, like, at the FCS level. That's what we're going to end up at. And honestly, if that eliminates the bowl games and people backing out, I'm for it.
Yeah, I can see that. I have to think more on that. I just think that's a lot. That's adding a lot more football, and think about, like, player sustainability. They may have to cut the games, maybe a game, because in the FCS they only play, because we went 4-8 this year. They played 12. No, it's around the same. We went 4-8, played 12 games. Yeah.
The only thing different, apart from bowl games and whatnot at the FCS level, is the conference championship games.
Yeah, that's the only thing. That's different.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, because they don't do conference championship week, so their last week of the regular season is like, you win a conference with a conference championship game.
Yeah,
conference championship game in. I think if the math is correct, you'd only have to extend the season by 1 week, and so that just means the national championship's played on, like, January 24th or something like that.
Yeah. So,
and honestly, too, that lines up with the off week that the NFL has for their Pro Bowl stuff. So if you play that national championship the week before the Super Bowl, you're all football out. You're not running to the juggernaut that is the NFL and their whole postseason and all that. You're not gonna run to them. So I can see it. Maybe we should put Jared on the committee to, like, figure this stuff out, because clearly he has all the answers. I don't have all the answers. It's just a frustrating thing that seeing what Notre Dame did today, it frustrated me, because I texted one of our group chats and I said, I think the committee got it right. And
yeah, I think so
based
too.
on how they were doing things, and they did. Notre Dame can cry all they want to, but the reason you're not in is because of things that you have done in the past.
Yeah. So. History is what people go off of, and when they look at your resume at the end of the year, if you don't fit the criteria, too bad. You can't pat about it when you didn't take care of business. But let's pivot to another G5 team, the University of Memphis Tigers, who today announced their new coach. They will now be picking up Charles Huff, the Southern Miss coach, who was only a Southern Miss for 1 season. He was previously an assistant in Alabama. He went 7-5 last year. turned the Southern Miss.
Not just in the system of Alabama. He was the associate head coach under Saban.
Let's put respect on this man's name. Associate head coach at Alabama. So he has big time football experience. He turned Southern Miss around after they went 7-5 last year after going 1-11 the previous season. He's got co-signed from Saban, James Franklin, a lot of other guys. I had to do my own research on the guy a little bit, so I'm still not that familiar with him, but I want to get my thoughts after you. When you saw the headline, because today became official, but last week they were like rumored that he was the front runner and all that, and big wigs in the university wanted this guy. So what was your thoughts when Charles Huff has been named the new head coach for the Memphis Tigers football team?
I mean, I liked it. I mean, you see what he did in his 1 year at Southern Miss, like he said, 1-11 the year before he got there. Turns them around to a 7-5 bowl team. You look at what he did at Marshall. Now, granted, last season, Marshall did not play in a bowl game because after he got hired at Southern Miss, they had, I think, 40 players transfer. So he wasn't. So they didn't play in a bowl game. But Evan, he went 10-3 in his last year at Marshall and beat Louisiana for the Sun Belt Conference title. The dude has a proven track record. I mean, look at it right here. His coaching career, he started as an O-line coach at Tennessee State, then was tight end special teams for 2 years. That was in 07-08. Assistant O-line coach at Maryland, O-line coach at Hampton, was a offensive quarterback coach for Vanderbilt in 2011, was a Buffalo Bills assistant running back coach in 2012, running back coach at Western Michigan in 2013, at Penn State, running back and special teams coach from 2014 to 2017, at Mississippi State as the associate head coach in 2018. Obviously, that stint with Alabama. Then that 21-24 time frame with Marshall, then at Southern Miss, and now at Memphis. He has a track record. He's 39-25 as a head coach. As a head coach, he's won a Sun Belt title. He won the East Division as well. And as an assistant coach, he won a national title with Alabama. He has, man, he has the background for it. And I think Memphis got a really good hire. And I think with what he has done in the past, he's going to not turn this program around because they've always been kind of like a consistent in the past few years. But I think he finally gets Memphis over that hump that Silverfield could not get over getting into an ACC championship game. And finally, in the last 2 weeks of the season, putting Memphis onto a bracket here soon.
Yes, especially when we talking about us being a 16-team playoff. Maybe Memphis can hopefully finally get into a college football playoff, being that we've been – since 2015, we have not been in one college football playoff. In the second year of a 12 team, but, neither here or there, Memphis fan here. But yes, everything that you named right there is why I like this hire with Charles Huff. I'm waiting to see who he hired as the offensive coordinator. He brought his 2 defensive coordinators from Southern Miss, I read. So I'm confident Memphis's defense has been kind of up and down over these past few years. So bringing that camaraderie and that synergy over from a Southern Miss, I like that. I want to see how he brings in offensive coordinator. That's like my only, I guess hesitancy, but we want a winner. We want guys to bring results. That's the thing that this Memphis program has been lacking over these past few years. Like, we've got marquee wins, but also have some very bad losses that we've talked about on this show ad nauseum. Mm-hmm. So we have a guy that has been around P4 culture, has won on the P4 level, has won a national championship. He can bring those winning habits from another university to Memphis and just inject this program with, like you said, we've always had the reputation of being a good team, but we haven't been reputation of being a winner consistently. Yeah. And that's the synergy you need, and that's the energy you want to bring into the program. Ed Scott, he co-signed him very well. So I think, like we said, this is Ed Scott's first big hire. So I feel like if this is his first big hire, I hope it turns out good, and I liked it. When I first saw it, I thought Ed Scott made the proper decision. So It's all about recruiting, offensive coordinator, and how he can just bring those winning habits into the Memphis football program.
And the good thing about recruiting these days is you can go get somebody who would be really good at a P4 after they sat on the bench for 1 or 2 years, where you know that they have that talent on them. And as a G5 like Memphis, you can go and get a guy like that out of the transfer portal that wants to play.
Facts.
And wants to ball out right now because that's just the day and age we're in. I think he'll do great. I mean, look at his constantly putting up 30 or more points in a game in his conference when he was there. Like, the dude can coach. He has a track record, obviously. See who the coordinators are. I think Southern Miss had a good defense last year, so I'm glad that he's getting those 2 over there.
Yep.
The offensive one's going to hit but you can't ask for much better. Jerry Mack would have been a good one in my opinion, but I think Huff has, like I said, much more proven track record. He's been at the top level and had that experience of winning a national championship, being a part of a national championship team. And he, like I said, he's been all over. He's been in the NFL. He has seen how things have been done all over the place at every different level. He's been at FCS, he's been at FBS, and he's been in the NFL. So I really like the hire.
We are on the same page. It's all about bringing results. Everyone's all good in Kumbaya right now, but if he doesn't win, everybody knows Memphis fans can get very hostile, and we aren't very patient fans, especially over the Ryan Silverfield era. So hopefully this guy comes in and brings some change. And I feel like he would. If I had to bet some money, even though I'm not a bettor, I'm too broke to bet broke college students.
Is that even allowed in Alabama?
I don't think so, honestly. I don't think, but I don't. Tennessee's still like, I guess, my permanent residence, I guess. So I guess
you have to be actually within state lines.
Oh yeah. Well, forget all that. So anyway, I think he's the right man for the job, Charles Huff. You have your support at the No Bluffin Podcast. If you're listening, if your supporters are listening, we co-sign it. But who are we? But we're just doing our thing, you know. But that's pretty much all we have for the No Bluffin news. We'll be back after a short commercial if Jared figures out what the commercial is. You got it?
Yeah, I'm ready.
We'll be right back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No Bluffin.
How much of this is fixable with time?
I mean, I think you can maybe see the effort get better. I think they can probably rebound a little better, and they can start getting the right guys the ball more often. But beyond that, I think it's pretty fair to say that this team is capped to a certain extent. You may just be what you are.
If the question you're asking is what is fixable, and if it's fixed, will it produce what we saw last year or the year before, whatever it may be? If that's the ultimate goal, that might not be a proper goal for this team. The goal is to get the team fixable to where they can win the conference and make it to the NCAA tournament, and then potentially do some damage as they, go into the NCAA tournament. There are some things that are fixable. There are some things on this that we saw out there that are absolutely fixable.
Tune in to Tigers Live with Francis Carlotta, live after every Memphis Tiger basketball game on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story. Calling all Tiger fans, your place to watch the first round matchup between the Memphis Tigers and number 1 ranked Purdue Boilermakers is at Mugshots Grill and Bar in Collierville, Tennessee. 4:30 p.m. Thursday, November 20th. Come hang out with Bluff City Media at the South's premier sports bar. Great food, beer specials, and large television screens will make Mugshots the place to be to cheer on your Tiger basketball team. Also, Tigers Live, the premier Memphis Tigers postgame show, will be live after the game from Mugshots. Come hang out with us this Thursday.
Welcome back to the No Bluffin Podcast. Evan Hayes, Jared Davidson here. Always, you can follow us. You can follow me at E11 Hayes. You can follow Jared at JB Davidson _. You can follow our pod page at the No Bluffin Pod. I need to do better at live tweeting during the games. I just be having a lot of stuff to do, but I promise I'll be back live tweeting because I know y'all liked that last year. But yeah, we have to get into our main news topics of the day. Main topics of discussion of the day, not news topics. We already went to news topics because we're at the 30-minute mark. Our first topic is always the week in review for your Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies have won 6 of their last 8 games. From the last time we talked, we picked up a W against the LA Clippers, a loss against the San Antonio Spurs, and we lost on that previous Sunday against the Kings. But we're playing good basketball. Jared, what were your thoughts on the past week of Grizzlies basketball?
I mean, really good. I mean, you go, since we last had the show, you go 2-1.
Yep.
With that loss being a very winnable game against the Spurs.
Yep.
But Harrison Barnes being who he is against Memphis is, it sucks a little bit. But
where did that come from?
Exactly. But I mean, you go 2-1 this last week with wins over Portland, a handy win over Portland where you got up 20 early. Yeah, it dwindled in the third quarter, but then you bubbled it back out. The bench played great in that one. Then another good comeback over the Clippers. That one was really good. In that game, we know Kawhi dropped 24. Cedric Coward had a really good game for Memphis in that one. I'm glad that I saw him really get going again. He's been struggling for a little bit. You look in that ball game, Jaren had 13, Edey had 10, and he only – where's the rebounds? He only had 8 rebounds in that game. But you look at Ced, 23 points, 14 rebounds. I believe he had 8 rebounds in the first quarter.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, so he was balling out. But our 2 big men didn't get a lot from them, but Vince Williams, Jalen, and Ced, we got a +3, a +19, and a +8. Also, KCP is finally looking comfortable off the bench.
Yes, he is. That's been, I think, my number one just positive. I don't want to go into the next topic, but just in the past week, I feel like KCP has embraced this role off the bench. He's really stepped into that veteran presence. Like, it seemed like his production has upped just more because he didn't have that pressure trying to be like hot off the gate and trying to find his rhythm. He's able to see how the flow of the game is going, get in, get buckets, and keep moving. His last game was his season out. He had 16 against the Trailblazers, and he allowed a timely buckets to kind of keep that lead extended. I feel like his defense has picked up a bit as well. So KCP has just been lights out. I have to give a shout out to Cam Spencer, who's been playing out his freaking mind. I don't know what's up.
Really well.
I don't know what's up with the Spencer brothers right now. I feel like I know they're not twins, but they got some type of telepathy going on right now where they're both just playing out their mind at the same time. And they got the screws loose. You know, we're not Warriors fans. Yeah, I'm not a Warriors fan, but it's hard for me not to smile when Pat Spencer is saying I'm that MFer when he's on the team with Stephen Curry and Draymond Green, and like
he's also gotten the start the last 2 games too.
Yes, he has gotten the start as well. So he's playing great, and his younger brother is playing just as good. Cam Spencer is shooting well above 4% from the 3-point line, over 13 points averaging over these last 10 games. I can't speak enough about Cam.
And to kind of go on to that point as well, you know, talking about our bench right now, the plus minus from our starters in that Trailblazers game, Evan.
Yep.
Tripp was -5, but Tripp had a great defensive game, 3 steals, 2 blocks, still kind of on the offensive end. I don't really want to hit on that a lot today because it's kind of like beating a dead horse. Edey was
you're gonna hate my negative topic then.
Oh,
if you don't want to talk about you.
No, we'll hit it. But Vince is a negative -10. Wells was a +14. Ced was a -7. Here's where it gets crazy. Cam +33, Santi +34, KCP +30, Jock +20 in that Trailblazers game.
Are you saying positive things about Jock Lundell? Jared Davidson?
I said he was a +20, and he had 5 offensive rebounds. Well, okay, he had to play 21 minutes because Zach Edey was in foul trouble.
He had 5 fouls in the third quarter, so
not just the third quarter. He had 5 with 8 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yes, he did. But I just got to get on this Jock Lundell thing. Is he changing your tune? Because earlier in the season,
he's not. His perfect spot. Everyone's always his perfect spot's 15 to 20 minutes off the bench. No, his perfect spot is 12. He
said 12.
Yes, the perfect spot for Jock Lundell is 12 minutes in the game.
Oh my god!
The entire NBA quarter. Need I remind you?
Hold up.
Zach Edey should be playing 30 minutes. And then hang on. I'm tripping. NBA game is 48
minutes. I'm like, what?
So
the math
ain't.
Should
be playing 36. That's what that is. I say that because our offense and just team in general, when Edey can stay on the floor out of foul trouble, looks so much better. But no, I will give Jock his props.
Yes,
when needed. He stepped up big in that Portland game when both of our Jaren wasn't even in foul trouble. It just offense sucked. But when Zach Edey was in foul trouble, Jock did step up pretty well. But Evan, I'm kind of getting excited. Excited about this kind of stretch coming up, and especially the fact that we don't really play again until Friday.
We do not, and we have this that's a great segue into our next topic. Our main topic is the Grizzlies are getting a much needed break because of the NBA Cup, and they're going into their knockout rounds and all that. And the Grizzlies unfortunately did not make the NBA Cup. We have a mini break coming up. We do not play again until Friday when we play the Utah Jazz at home before we go back to
Cup makeup games.
Yeah, it's the Cup makeup games. We're playing the Clippers again. I'm so sick of playing the freaking Clippers. We play them again.
Hey, good news is I'm pretty sure after this game we don't play them again this year.
Thank gosh. I'm sick of seeing Kawhi.
I could be entirely wrong about that.
I could be entirely wrong about that.
Like, it's a makeup game, so that may not have been one of our original scheduled 3.
Yeah.
But who knows?
But much needed break. We have a particular number 12 coming back likely on 12-12. He got his first doubtful last game against. Look at King Meeks. We're on the same page. I didn't even see that. But he had his first doubtful against the Trailblazers. So we're assuming, being at the track record of Grizzlies PR and how the Grizzlies like to matriculate those guys back, he will be back on 12-12. So
yeah, because if we would have played on Wednesday, he probably would have been questionable in a true game time decision. And if he didn't play on Wednesday, he would definitely play Friday.
Yeah. So Ja Morant is coming back. So of course Vince Williams, who had a pretty bad game, you didn't mention him, had a pretty bad game against the Trailblazers. He had 5 points.
Only reason I didn't mention it is because I did not get to watch that game.
Well, you definitely did not miss a masterclass by Vince Williams. He had 5 points. He had 3 turnovers. Didn't have his best game, but you have to give him credit. He's been playing great out of position, but thankfully next game he would not have to have those duties anymore because Ja is coming back. So I feel like this time away, at least from the bench, Ja has looked more engaged. I feel like he's seen the game from a different perspective. He's kind of been a pseudo assistant coach as well. So I feel like him being able to coach Edie, he's been in a lot of communication with Edie. Yeah. I love that.
He's also been doing it with Jaren too.
Yeah, Edie, Jaren, Wells, said too, like all the presumed starters. He's been in a lot of communication with them. He looks engaged as ever. He got in the face of Denny Avia as he should have after he tried to trip Cedric Howard early in the game. So being that Ja is coming back, I feel like we're really about to hit our stride, being that we have a favorable schedule coming up. I know like our only 2 hard games is the Timberwolves and then the Thunder. And we're playing them in like a 2-week span. I believe we're playing the Timberwolves first and then the Thunder on the 22nd, I believe.
Play the Timberwolves a week from Wednesday and then the Thunder on the Monday before Christmas.
So again, outside of those 2 games, which I believe the Timberwolves is a winnable game. I don't feel like they're just unbeatable. Of course, the Thunder, they're 23-1 right now. They're on pace to like break the freaking wins record. So I don't even want to talk about them right now. But this much needed break, I feel like it's a good thing for us to talk about the positives and the negatives that we've been seeing, because we're about 30% through the NBA season. We played 24 games. I want to do this after the 25th game, but it kind of wouldn't make sense.
You don't get the 25th game until Friday.
It was to Friday, but we got a little break. But Jared, I asked you before to pick up 1 or 2 points, just wherever your heart takes you. Positives and negatives while we have this break about what you've seen from the Grizzlies so far.
DJ's gonna go into my positive here, because with the likelihood of Demetrius Jamal Morant coming back on Friday, those first 6 minutes before he tweaked his calf against the Cavs looked so good with him. I think, was KCP still starting then? Yes, he was.
Yeah, KCP was still starting.
KCP was still starting then, but the starting lineup with Edie and Ja looked really good. With Jaren and Jalen looked good. I'm excited to see how that looks with Cedric Howard. I think you're finally going to get your 5 best players on the floor together, which is what we have been wanting all year. A starting lineup, any lineup of 5, Ja, Jalen, Cedric, Jaren, and Edie.
Yep.
I like how they look. I'm excited that they're going to do well coming back. I guess for an actual positive for before the season, the way Cam Spencer played in Vince's minutes in the fourth quarter, and especially against Portland. When Ty Jerome comes back, how do you keep Cam off the floor. You can't. You cannot keep Cam off the floor in that instance. I think it cuts into Vince's minutes. I like Vince because of his defense, but I really think he goes back down to that kind of like 2-3 spot, maybe in Wake. But I looked at this stat last year, and here's where kind of wrap up the positive of this.
Yeah.
Ty Jerome was a top 30 player in the NBA in defensive rating last year, and so was KCP. So I'm not worried about the defense struggling on the bench unit. So Vince can take another back seat and let Cam have those more spot up shooter minutes in the lineup that he needs to get because he's been playing so well. But that's the positive. The negative, I don't want to talk about it. It's your negative too.
We got to, man.
I don't want to talk about it. Jaren Jackson Jr. has been awful.
I said my notes say inconsistent. You just straight up said awful.
No, he's been bad. No.
He said let's not nice it up.
Don't sugarcoat it. He has been awful.
Wow.
Like we're seeing spurts of the defense kind of taking over a little bit where he needs it to. Like where's the game log at? Stat Muse work for me here. Against Portland, he only had 6 points and 3 rebounds. Only had 2 fouls, or 3, I believe. But he had 3 steals, 2 blocks. That's the first game this year where he has had multiple of both.
Yep, his stocks.
It's the first game this year where he has had multiple of both in the same game. He had 6 blocks against the Pelicans. He had 5 blocks in another game this year, I believe. Could be wrong, but anyways, it's the first time he's got multiple of those. The offense has sucked. He scored 24 and 27 in back-to-back games against the Pelicans and Clippers. He looked good in the fourth quarter of those games, but it's not enough. And I don't think a lot of people have said this, I don't think he just forgot how to play basketball. But we saw flashes in that Cleveland game of Ja liking the offense under T.I.
Yep.
And at this point, my blame is not on T.I. right now. It will be on T.I. again if we see some BS rotations coming up here whenever we get everybody back. Jaren Jackson Jr. looks like he's the only one who hasn't really figured out the system. And players, when they enter their prime, Evan, it's because they've added on to their game.
Yep.
Outside of an isolation offensive game plan from Jaren, what have we seen him add this year? He was playing that style of offense in basketball last year, got him really close to an All-NBA selection, and got him an All-Star. But right now, it's not working because guess what? Everyone's throwing a double team and a triple team at you because they know, A, you're an isolation player. And also, too, because you're an isolation player, you can't pass to save your life. He hasn't evolved his game. It's not looking good. Like I said, he can play isolation ball when he gets a one-on-one. We've seen it several times this year.
Yeah.
But the part of entering the age range of 27 to 32, when that's supposed to be your prime in the NBA, I've not seen him evolve his game like I would like him to. And so, like I said, I'm not going to blame T.I. on this one because everyone else is feeding on the system. Zach Edey, who everyone was like is going to struggle in this system where everything is intentional. He is thriving in this system. Why can't the other 7-footer do it?
It's also another pseudo 7-footer kind of. Santi Aldama is playing the best basketball of his career.
Best basketball of his career. We've gotten FIBA Santi.
Yes, we have. We've been wanting FIBA Santi for the past 3 seasons, and we're finally freaking getting him.
He's figuring it out in the system. Jaren Jackson Jr. wants to play ISO ball, and that's it. Now, granted, last game he had 3 really good assists against Portland to start the game in the first quarter when he was feeding Edey. That 2-man game worked.
Yeah.
But we need to see him add on to that because in today's NBA, especially the system, you cannot be an isolation player. Because even in games where Josh shot terrible, Evan, he was getting assists. He was passing. He was playmaking. Apart from the Halloween incident, he was playing and making up for that because he knows he has the good passing game. I truly think Ja's offensive game is going to be better with Edey on the floor because it's going to open up the paint. But Jaren Jackson Jr. needs to take that next step and find out how to play a team style of basketball, catch a ball, immediately go up, make some cuts instead of hanging out at the three-point line. There were several – I went back and watched some clips from that Trailblazers game. There were several times where he was just kind of sitting at the wing or in the corner when everyone else was moving around, working in the mid-range.
Yep.
You got to evolve your game somehow. And right now, everyone knows how you got to be a fringe All-NBA player and an All-Star last year, and they're feeding on that because they can double-team you and know you're not going to make a good pass if you do make a pass out of a double team.
I feel like it comes down to this. Me and you play basketball, of course, and we cover basketball. Of course, never as high as a level as Jaren Jackson Jr., but I feel like a skill that is taught, especially at the high school and college levels, when you have these high-level players and high-level scorers, is how can you affect the game positively without the ball in your hands?
Yep.
And it seems like that's the one skill that Jaren has been lacking. Me and Luke, Hatmaker did the post-game bounce from last game against the Trailblazers, and we were both talking about that. Jaren just doesn't seem to be, I'm not going to call him dumb, I'm not saying that, but just in the head, it just seemed like it's not clicking with him in the system right now. I don't want my words getting misconstrued.
No, you're good.
It just seems like if he doesn't have the ball in his hands on an isolation from a three-point line, or he gets in kind of the mid-post to do that kind of baby floater hook thing with his either hand, it seemed like he's not affecting the game positively. No. And for everyone, this is my other negative. I have 2 positives and 2 negatives, but since you brought up Jaren, I'm going to just piggyback right off of that. These are the type of games, especially when Ja Morant is not in the lineup, that he should be dominating these teams. Because statistically, on paper, he's the best player on the floor. Especially last game against the Trailblazers, there wasn't another all-star on the floor outside of Jaren Jackson Jr. There was another Supermax player on the floor. Did the Trailblazers have any max players? Jeff Shaden Sharp, is he on a max contract?
I don't think he's on a max. He's on a big contract. I don't think it's a max.
I don't think anyone else on the Trailblazers roster is on a max contract. Y'all, please fact check me if I'm wrong, but I'm honestly trying to think right now. But he was the only all-star, only fringe All-NBA guy on the court. He only had 6 points. Yes, he had his best defensive game in a long time. He even had a chase down block, which we haven't seen from Jaren in quite a long time. But just offensively, it seems like he doesn't know how to get off when other guys are playing well. Like last game, Santi was playing well, Cam was playing well, Edie played well in his spots minutes. We saw what Jaren looked like as number one option last year when he was the focal point of the offense and he was just getting all the shots that he wanted. And he was being able to carry the offense, even though we weren't winning, but we was able to carry the offense, especially the season before that as well.
So the Trailblazers have 3 players on max or near max contracts. 2 of them are out. Drew Holiday and Damian Lillard.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not. Yeah.
Jeremy Grant's the other one.
Okay, Jeremy Grant's on the max, but I'm assuming Jaren's getting paid more than him. I'm assuming. I hope so.
This season, no. Jeremy Grant's getting paid $4 or $3 million more.
That is surprising.
Because I think this year is the last year of Jaren's current deal.
Oh yeah, because he gets kicked in next year. Yeah. So next year he would have been this, but y'all get the point I'm saying. He's undoubtedly the best player on the floor. Yeah,
100% the best player on the floor. Should be the best player on the floor.
And he's not separating himself. A game against the Kings, we won that game. Well, no, did we win? Yeah, we lost. Yeah, we won against the Kings. Yeah,
we haven't lost to a team with a losing record.
We're 14-0 against teams with a losing record. So hopefully we keep that going. But against the Kings,
11-0.
11-0. I was kind of thinking about last season.
We're 11-13.
Yeah, I was thinking about last season, like going off of last season, like with Thomas Islo that's the stat I had in my head. But thank you for correcting me. But against the Kings, he didn't stand out like that. Against the Clippers, he had a pretty good game. We were at LA, so I give him that. But just seemed like on a consistent basis, he isn't asserting himself on these games. We have the infamous San Antonio game where Harrison Barnes outplayed him on the floor, which Harrison Barnes is outside of his prime, has won his championships, but he's never been considered an all-star type player.
No.
And yet he was outplaying our 2-time all-star, defensive player of the year, fringe All-NBA guy, Supermax guy, and all that. I need more out of Jaren. I need more consistent play out of Jaren. And he has to figure out, being that it's year 8 for him, I feel like he should already have this figured out. Why can't he hit the mic? Why can't he play well when other guys are playing well? Like, we talked about it all the time, even when Dez was here. It would be games where Ja and Dez would go off and Jaren's kind of disappearing.
Yep.
Dez isn't here now, so what's your excuse? And Ja has been out for the past 8 to 10 games.
Yeah.
You have to.
Dez is in Orlando chunking basketballs at OG and
That was hilarious. I'm sorry. That was funny. Funny.
Ja's been out and you can't step up, dude.
You can't step up. That's my number one negative. My number one negative. Jaren, people are calling for you to be gone, or we shouldn't have paid you that much. Like, I know you hear the noise. You have a burner Instagram that everyone knows about. It's not really a burner if everyone knows about your Instagram. I feel like that's kind of funny. So you have like a burner Instagram, but everybody knows about it. But you know, who cares? You're grown. Do whatever you want. But you have to be able to step up. That's my number one. My number two negative is the three-point shooting. Even though the offenses look better, we are currently 28th in the NBA in three-point percentage with 33.6. Last game against the the Trailblazers, I believe we shot under 10. I think we made under 10 3-pointers. Fact check me real quick. I know we shot a abysmal percentage.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see. I'm looking up myself too.
We've had several games this year where we have not hit double-digit made threes.
Last game we were 10 for 35. We just hit 10. We were at 10. I'm just gonna do a little thought experiment. Just give me a number from 1 to 5, and that's how many games I'm gonna look back to see.
No, I was about to do the same thing. Do like 4 games back.
Okay, against the Clippers,
Take it to loss in there.
We shot 10 for 28. Another, we just hit 10. The game against the Spurs, we shot 9 for 26. 9 for 26.
And we started that game 6 for 6 from 3.
Yeah, and then we just fell off a cliff at that. The game against the Kings, we shot 9 for 24. The game against the Clippers, the last game we won against the Clippers.
We made 17 that game.
Okay, so that's the one outlier.
Yeah, that's the one outlier. What do we do against the Pelicans? I'll go back.
I'm looking at it. Looking at it right now. We shot 17. Okay, so those 2 games, we just shot the cover out the ball. We shot 46% from 3 that game. But in its totality, we are not shooting good from the 3-point line. I don't care how many pick and rolls and motions we have. In the modern day NBA, we have to be able to spread the floor. Cam Spencer is our only consistent 3-point shooter right now. Yes, KCP is coming along, but just over the season, it was Jock Landale for a bit. Then he stopped making his shots. Then KCP is coming along here. So it's only been Cam Spencer.
Jalen's had spurts this year.
Jalen's had spurts. Yeah, but he started off the year slow where he couldn't make threes, and now he's thankfully. I have to give shout out Jalen. He's out his slump now. Jalen's been playing well, especially these last 5 games, last 6 games as well. We got to be able to shoot the ball. I don't know if that comes down to system because we're shooting a lot of them. We're shooting a lot of threes. It's just we got to make them. Like we're top 10 in the league in 3-point attempts. Yeah, we're just bottom 3 in making them. You know.
Yeah, you look at those games where we made because I think I went back one more as well, where we made 17 against the Clippers. Let me go back and look at that. When we made 17 threes against the Clippers, Vince Williams had 5 assists that game. But against like the Pelicans, he had like 15 or something. I truly believe when Ja gets back, we'll find more open threes that aren't like slightly contested and whatnot. I just think right now it's because I think they're not going in simply because the contests are getting there because we don't have a true playmaker on the floor. So,
yeah, the gravity that Ja Morant gets compared to Vince Williams is literally night and day. Like, yes, Vince Williams has done a better job of being that main primary ball handler and not turn the ball over outside of last game, but people are not scared of him driving and getting within the paint or getting a paint touch like Ja Morant. When Ja Morant drives, people are literally fearing for them because he can either rise up and finish around you or he can find an open man. Vince, unfortunately, is not blessed with the athletic capability to do that.
No.
So I do have that point. Like, I agree with that point that when Ja comes back, they may be more open. But it's like we just chucking up bad threes in the bottom of the shot clock. Like, I feel like we're just missing shots too. I just feel like it's a make or miss league. If I have to give a percentage on it, I feel like it's 60%, 65% that we're not hitting shots and 35% they're not as open. Because you look at the games, it's like bottom of the shot clock just throwing stuff up at the rim, or we're just having bad offense, especially these last 8 games where we're 6-2. We're getting good looks. That's why the offense has been working. We just not getting it from the 3-point line because our points in the paint have been great. Points in the paint has been above 40 to 50 in the 60s on a game-to-game basis, just we're not hitting shots.
Yeah.
But now I got to go to my positives before we get out of here. your first point was kind of my point. You said Cam Spencer, but I kind of just got to talk about the overall bench. We are the number one bench scoring team in the league with 49 a game. I cannot stress enough about how great our bench has been. Some of these games, the bench have played better than the starters, just like the Trailblazers game. There's been other games where the bench has kept us in the game, like the Clippers game. We went to overtime. The bench is doing their thing. Santi is playing out his mind consistently. Cam is. KCP coming off the bench. I feel like I honestly was scared when we moved him to the bench. I feel like he could have been like kind of disengaged from there and kind of took that as a demotion, but he seemed like he's taking that as a great opportunity to get himself back together. I know off the court he's been great. I know Jock Landale and other guys have mentioned how KCP has been such a great asset off the court as well. So I love the way we're seeing from him. I can't speak enough how this bench is. I still hate our rotations. I hate it. I don't care how good our bench is. I don't want to see Santi Aldama coming in at the 8-minute mark. I don't want to see it. Santi's playing well. Why can't we play Jaren to the 6 or 4-minute mark? I know he comes back in at the 2-minute mark, but I hate it. I still hate it. I don't care. I hate it. But the bench is playing great. Yeah. My second, you got it. Yeah.
I really think that's because Santi hasn't had the last few years with injuries down low. Santi has had to be thrust into a starting role. This year, he has not had to do that. He's fine. He's in his comfortable spot off the bench. We've unlocked FIBA Santi, as we mentioned earlier in the show. And I really think it's because, like, the reason our bench is doing so well is because Santi has not had to be thrust into starting minutes this year.
And I feel like he's also playing his more natural position as well.
Yes,
like
he's more free.
Yeah, because with those injuries out, he's been thrusting into the 4, maybe 5 or 7 lineups because his height. But now being that our front court is more healthy, he's roaming around that 3-point line and can kind of play inside out a little bit better as well.
And also, too, when you go to the bench, especially in today's NBA, the bench has become a lot more of a positionless basketball game than the starting roles, obviously. Because when you bring in the bench, yes, it's about matchups and how you can, include these guys here, stagger some here, whatnot. A lot goes into it. But you get to the bench of a lot of these NBA teams, it's going to be a smaller center. It's going to be smaller guys everywhere else, pretty much. So it creates this positionless basketball, and Santi can do a little bit of everything. Santi can rebound. He's averaging like 6.5 this year, I believe.
Yep.
He can, like you said, play his more natural position where he will hit some threes and roam around a little bit more and cut.
Yes, he will.
Like, so I like it. Like I said, I think really him being back in that bench role primarily now allows that positionless basketball to be played to where he's not having to be in the starting role and stick to being a 4 or a sometimes small lineup 5.
Yeah. So that's my first positive. My second positive is the improved defense. I searched this up before we came on. In the last 8 games, we are 5th in defensive rating. I believe at 110 point and some change. So
well,
our defense
a certain big man also just hit the minimum 10-game threshold for stats as well.
Yes, and I know we talked about this another episode, but I just love that Zach Edey said, "Yeah, it seemed like we're playing better when I got here." I can't stress enough how funny that was and how accurate that statement is. So if you want to put it all on Zach Edey, cool, but the defense is playing better.
And shout out to Rusty. He's this best defensive rating in the 2025-26 NBA regular season. Minimum 10 games played and 20 minutes per game. Zach Edey in first at 94.5. The next closest is AJ Mitchell at 99.4. So
in a smaller sample size, we have the best defensive player in the league, what you're saying.
We also have the best defensive rookie in the league too, with Cedric Howard at 109.
Shout out, Sid. So it seems like being that I was a guard when I played basketball, when I know I had a shot block behind me, I played a little more aggressive because I know if I do get blown past, I got a 7'5" guy behind me that can just deter everything. It's not about blocking shots. It's just about that presence and affecting shots. Mm-hmm. So it seems like our inside presence has worked better. Our defensive rebounding has improved. We're finishing possessions now because before Edey got there, we would get the stop, but we didn't fully get possessed the ball, which we saw.
Yeah, we get a stop, but we couldn't get a rebound.
Exactly. So that has gone up. Our on-ball defense has gone up. We've seen, especially in that last possession against the Clippers, where both Sid and Jaren had great defensive stops on the perimeter. I feel like our defense intensity has gone up. I know Coach Islo said earlier in the offseason that he wants our defense to be like going to the dentist as comfortable as possible. I feel like over these past 10 games, it has been that. Of course, a big part of that is Zach Edey, but I can't stress enough how defense wins championships, or at least defense gets us to the playoffs. So if we keep playing defense like this, I feel like we'll be in good shape. And I said this coming back.
You hear?
The defensive intensity that Vince. Are you here? Because I've been talking for the whole time.
Yeah, I'm here.
Did it just cut out on me?
Yeah, a little bit.
How much did you hear? Because I feel like I was cooking right there. How much did you hear?
As soon as you started that statement, it went out.
Okay, so I'm running it back real quick. I said this on the post-game show. Yeah, I said this on the post-game show, and I'm saying this now. Yes, I love the Josh coming back, and I'm excited to see what he looks like in this offense with Edey and all that. But I can say I did enjoy seeing the starting lineup backcourt of Vince, Sid, and Jalen. Defensively, as long as Ja keeps that defensive intensity there and it's not a huge drop-off between Vince and him, I will have no complaints defensively from this basketball team. Because I also feel like, yes, it was Edey coming back, but just at the same time, having another great perimeter defender that's very switchable in the starting lineup, in the backcourt, did improve our defense as well. So as long as Ja keeps that defensive intensity there, I feel like we're going to be very good on the defensive side of the ball. And everybody knows when it comes down to playoff time where you need to stop, you need 5 guys that can all defend, that can all switch, rotate properly. So as long as we keep doing that, especially with Ja in the lineup, I feel like we'll be good.
Yeah, same.
Do you have any? I just see like all the.
Yeah, everything you said. Straight up, everything you said. Yeah, that's. So.
Yeah. Do you have any more positive and negatives you want to hit on before we get out of here for the people?
I think we covered like the main ones. So no, I think I'm good.
But yes, y'all in the comments, being that we have our last like mini break into the All-Star break, eventually being at the Grizzlies, we both feel like we serve the team good, but y'all let us know y'all positives and negatives. But we're right over the hour mark, so we will about to get out of here. But as always, we have to pay the bills with the FanDuel pick of the week. Jared, do you have your pick, or do you want me to go first, my guy? Let's try to make the viewers some money. Currently, y'all know I love my football, my NFL football. Currently, the Eagles and the Chargers are playing on Monday Night Football, so you still have some time to get that bet in. The spread is Eagles +3. Say what?
So the Eagles already losing.
Oh, yeah, the Eagles are already losing. It's 7-0, but it's only in the first quarter. It's like halfway through the first quarter. So the Eagles is +3.5, and the Chargers are -3.5. Right now, the Chargers are up 7-0. So I'm going to take that bet on the Chargers, being that the Eagles have seemed to be kind of discombobulated this whole season. I feel like the Chargers are due for a good win to try to stay in this AFC playoff race, try to stay competitive. So I'm taking the Chargers -3.5, and the spread is 125. What about you, my guy?
Call me a homer, but give me Denver to win the conference at +390. The AFC. I say that simply because, not because like our defense is good. They will carry us to however far we need to go.
Yep.
I say that because when the fourth quarter hits, Bo Nix and the rest of the offense are making the right plays. It's one of those things where I just feel confident about it. I'm not saying we're going to win the Super Bowl, but right now, looking at the AFC, I don't really trust the Patriots. The Bills are up and down. The Texans are the Texans. The Jags are the Jags. And the Chargers are the Chargers. So, like I said, the AFC is wide open right now, and I feel like that +390 will win a little bit of money. So,
you got the Broncos hosting a home game in Mile High.
No, they will host a home game. I'm saying they're winning the AFC.
Well, I'm saying get like the first round bye. That's what I should have said. First round bye. Because right now, if everybody doesn't know, the Broncos are number 1 in the conference, 11-2. The Patriots are number 2. The Jags are 3. The Steelers are 4.
Denver has every two-way head-to-head tiebreaker over New England as well.
Yes. So y'all had to like criminally just kind of fumble this whole thing to like.
We have a little bit of a hard ending. We have the Packers, the Jags, the Chargers and the Chiefs to end the year, I believe.
You said the Chargers, which is a tough game. You said the Chiefs.
The game off the game-winning field goal. We've already beaten the Chiefs.
Yes.
We can beat the Jags, and then we have the Packers.
No, I feel like the only game y'all losing is the Packers, honestly.
I feel like the one we lose is Jacksonville, not Green Bay.
You think Jacksonville? I don't know about that.
I think we lose one of Green Bay or Jacksonville. We'll win one of those and lose the other.
Yeah, I can see that. I just feel like, talk about defense, I feel like the Packers defense is elite, and I feel like Jordan Love and Bo Nix are right in my same amount of trust level, because sometimes they look like they should be top 5, top 10 conversation, and they make some plays like, what the freak are you doing?
Exactly.
So I think that would be a good game. But yes, I would like that bet as well. I feel like the AFC, like you said, is wide open, and we're talking about strict quarterbacks outside of talking about the AFC. Outside of Aaron Rodgers, the only quarterback I trust more than him is Bo Nix. Just the quarterback to the left. Yeah. And everybody knows in playoffs the quarterback has to take you. So I like that bet, man. I like that. I think I like that bet better than mine. But that will be all for another show. We are right at the 105 mark. Again, thank you, Jared Davidson, for tuning in and joining me as always. Thank y'all for being active in the chat and joining us tonight. Y'all go watch some football. Holiday season coming up. Do something that makes you feel good. Jared, if anything else to tell the people before we go?
No, man. It's a new week. Grizzlies don't play till Friday, so
stress free.
Stress free. Reset y'all's minds. Watch some NBA Cup action. Watch some football. Yeah, man. And as always, go Grizz, baby.
As always, go Grizz. And I'm also watching John Cena's final,
I'll be
final match. So y'all pray for me and Jerry. I may shed a tear if y'all some wrestling fans.
There'll be a tear shed.
There will be a tear shed. But as always, do something to make you feel good. Evan Hayes, Jared Davidson, No Bluffin Podcast. Go Grizz.
Go Grizz, baby.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the No Bluffing Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of all things Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.